Girl, guess what?
What now?
We're talking real life, the mess, the magic,
And everything in between. My name is Belinda.
and I'm Molly.
And this is Girl Guess What?
The podcast where the group chat goes public.
So grab your iced coffee.
And let's do this.
Welcome back to Girl Guess What?
Episode
8. Episode 8. I feel like we've just been banging out these episodes and I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, I know, me too. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it as well. And I love the topics that we're talking about. So
I hope everyone at home is loving it. So
I hope
please,
so. Yeah,
any
let us
feedback.
Let us
please
know what has been your favorite episode so far, because I have a few favorites already, but I want to know what the audience are loving and the listeners are loving.
Yeah,
the topic is solo adventures, and we do want to know, has anyone ever done solo adventures before? Whether it's just like you've only done it once, or maybe you're like an experienced solo adventurist. I want to know, what are some of your solo adventures, if you ever had one? I'm sure you've had many.
I have had loads, actually. Probably can't think of all of them on the top of my head. You know, I've done a lot of not solo traveling, but I've traveled from A to B on my own. And I don't mean just around London. Like, you know, by plane, I flew to Toronto on my own when my boyfriend was living out there for a little bit. Yeah, I would go on holiday on my own though. Been for dinner on my own. I've never had a solo cinema date, but I totally would. Yeah, like walking, just small adventures.
Yeah.
What about you?
I love little solo dates. I'm not gonna lie. I had to say the best dates I've been on is the solo date.
To be fair, I have seen a couple of your stories recently on Instagram or over the last couple of months, and it's been like theatre. You go to the theatre, didn't you? Did you?
Yeah, most of the time I go with friends, but I have gone to a couple of theatres on my own.
Hercules, was that on your own?
No, I went with family.
Oh, okay.
But I have gone to theatres by myself before. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. I went to cinema I go cinema by myself as well. Go lunch by myself, dinner by myself. Yeah, just little small things like that. Even just go to a cafe with a book. I'll go sit in a cafe by myself and just read a book.
So, I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but do you enjoy doing things by yourself, or do you feel awkward?
Some things I like to do by myself. Like I'm that sort of person where like I do need space just for myself, not because like it's not an offense to anyone at all, because obviously I want to put it out there because I feel like my friends might be offended by it, which I hope I'm not offending anyone. But it's just that sometimes you do need that time to yourself just to like recharge and to like recuperate and things, just to like get back to yourself until you're ready to go back out there. But yeah, on some things I do like to do by myself. Like I wouldn't go to a bar by myself. I think that's I think that's more like a social thing. But if it was like going to a cinema or even just walking around the museum, I like to do that by myself as well. Just like a quiet little time, just wander. I love doing that by myself. Holidays, I've been to Amsterdam by myself before.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, you know what, I want to know. This is the first time. I was like, how old was I? Like 20? Really early in my 20s, and I just wanted to know what it was like to travel by myself, and I chose Amsterdam because like A, I've never been, and also B, it's a safe place as well. And if anything was to happen, I can just always take a flight back home, or even just take a Eurostar back home. It's so easy. So I went to Amsterdam by myself, and I just sensed this really like independent feeling, and I just loved it. I had control of where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to talk to, what pictures I wanted to take. It was just so much like independence from it, and I absolutely loved it. I haven't been able to do it since, so I probably would want to do it again. What about you?
Yeah, I've never had a holiday. I would love to. I do love experiencing particular things though with, you know, my boyfriend, my family, my closest friends, and I sometimes think that if something amazing was to happen, I'd be so sad that I experienced it on my own and I didn't get to share that experience with someone else. But I would go on my own. One of my best friends is 30 in December, and she's booked a solo travel around Thailand and Vietnam for 5 weeks in October, and she's so excited, and I'm so excited for her. It's the first time she would be doing this on her own, and she was like, I just want to experience it before I'm 30. And I'm like, yeah, that is a bucket list thing to be able to do. So maybe before I'm 30, I'll get a little solo holiday booked in. But then, yeah, I'd be sad to like miss out on the experience with other people, but it's not because I feel awkward or I don't want to be alone. I would just be scared that I'm going to experience something and I haven't got like my besties or my boyfriend with me to be like, this is fucking amazing. But no, I would.
Yeah.
I totally would, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, whenever you do like your solo moments or solo dates to yourself, do you ever have like a main character moment in your head?
Babe, I have a main character moment in my head when I'm on the train every morning.
Do you? Yeah. I'm like listening to music. Yeah, it's like a main character moment. I'm like, especially if I'm just walking around London, it's a nice day and I'm feeling good. Purposely put a like, you know, nice outfit for myself. That, you know, that solo date that you would show up for yourself. You have good makeup on, everything. I'm like, this is a main character moment. And like, I'd be walking around doing whatever I want to do. I'll be going to museums. I'll be like doing some little window shopping.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, go and eat at like a restaurant I've always wanted to try. Maybe go to a cafe I've always wanted to try. Like, I would treat myself to all of this. I'd be like, I'm saving that for my solo day.
Yeah, main character solo day. I love being the main character. It's brilliant, isn't it? Sometimes I just wish though there was like a personal or private cameraman following me around so I could just rewatch all of my main character moments. But then it'd probably burst my bubble because I would realise, oh shit, I do not look as cool as I thought I did. When you are in these main character moments or on your solo dates, do you like sit or position yourself somewhere in public where you can people watch or where you're exposed, or would you kind of like take yourself to the corner and like just really get into your feels, like with a book or something?
I mostly like, yeah, I'll probably get into like a little corner where I can have my actual me time. But then at the same time, I don't really overthink where I'm in, what I'm in, like in the room. Like if I can be sit in the middle and be completely fine, or I can sit in the corner and be completely fine. Like just as long as I'm doing my own thing and no one's bothering me, I'm good.
I'm like always wanting to people watch, and I think that's one of my favorite things about being on my own and doing solo adventures and things is being able to sit in silence and people watch without having to talk to the person you're with, because I'm the nosiest person ever when it comes to people watching. Like, do not disturb my moment. So, you know, sometimes at bars and cafes and restaurants you have sometimes like breakfast tables in the window and you just have stools looking out the window with the little breakfast bar in front of you. I will always sit there.
I love
sitting there. So I can watch people go past. Do you
Yeah.
remember when we went for coffee?
Yeah.
In Waterloo.
Loved
Pret
it.
in Waterloo Station.
I chose that seat on purpose.
Yep. Sit near the window and you can just watch the whole world go by. I love doing that on a solo adventure. I'll never forget when I was living in London and I came into Central to get some Ladukas, which are dance shoes. And I remember next door to the shop was Wagamama's, and I was like, I'm gonna take myself on a Wagamama solo date because I've just bought these exciting dance shoes. I was really excited. And I went and I sat in the window seat and I had a glass of Prosecco and I had ramen and I was like people watching, and I could have sat there for hours. I was so happy. I didn't go on my phone, didn't need a book. I was just constantly like this. Oh, what's he up to over there? My boyfriend would have cursed me if he saw. He hates it because I'm so nosy.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I do love a good people watch every now and then. Do you know a good place, a good country for people watch is Paris? Because they have loads of cafes and they have like outside seating and it's facing like towards the street and stuff like that, so you can actually see people walking by and all that. So I've noticed this about Paris. I was like, Paris is good for people watching.
Yeah,
literally. I mean, I haven't gone back to Paris in so long, but like I've noticed about this in like Parisian like cafes.
Yeah, I love
which
that.
is very interesting.
So when you're on your own, okay, doing your people watching or just in a cozy corner with your book, have you ever had like an unexpected interaction from someone? Usually it is men feeling like they can approach women when they see them on their own. Oh, it annoys me. Have you ever experienced that?
Okay, so I've not experienced that recently. No, I have not, surprisingly. I think it's because when you have your headphones in and you're doing your own thing, like, they're like, oh, I don't want to bother her. Whereas if you're, like, sitting there, that's like smiling and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, looking approachable.
You're looking approachable. That's when I feel like people would approach you. But because most of the time I'm in my own little world, I'm either on my phone listening to music or I'm, like, reading a book or, like, I'm doing my side hustles, for example, like editing our podcast, for example. example, then yeah, they don't approach. But if you're just sitting there like, then you're approachable. But when I was younger, and this is when I was doing like my journalism on the street interviews, and I'll be doing it by myself. Even when I'm just looking around, like seeing like people I could interview, just anyone really. Sometimes I wouldn't even have to make the effort to approach anyone. They would just come to me. And it was always mostly guys.
I know. And sometimes I met my friend for a coffee the other day in Clapham Junction. We had this guy literally come up to us, and I don't even know what he was saying, which just explains the situation. Like, I don't think he was sober at all. But he was just hovering, and I was like, oh, like, to begin with, I can like brush it off, and I'm like, right, you know, he's obviously drunk or on something. But then he was just hovering, and I was like, no, now you're disturbing me, now you're annoying me. And he just wouldn't leave. Like, but he wasn't even talking to us, but he was just stood like next to us or behind us, and I was like, what is your intention?
Yeah.
Like, what do
Are
you
you
want?
okay, sir?
What do you want?
Yeah. I feel like that literally, I feel like girls, we should just be walking around with a sign. Like, I'm feeling sociable today. Come and talk to me. Oh, I'm not feeling sociable today. Don't talk to me.
But why do guys feel like it's appropriate to approach female when they're on their own?
Do you know what? This is what I think as well, and I listen to a lot of podcasts as well. I think it's because they feel less, if it's a group of girls, they feel intimidated. They don't want to be seen as a, like, it's scary for them to approach. Imagine if we were to approach a guy and ask him out. That's scary. Yeah. Whereas like if it was a group of guys, maybe there's a guy that you're interested in and he's with a group of friends, but you want to ask this guy out, it's a little bit intimidating when it's a group of him and his guy friends. Whereas when he's by himself, it's a little less scary.
Yeah,
like you can have that one-to-one conversation, you can flirt, you can banter, and then you can ask out. I think that's the same with guys. So with guys, it's like it's less intimidating when the girl is by herself. Whereas if it's like a group of girls, they're like, oh, what if she rejects me in front of all of her friends and I look like an idiot and I can't handle the rejection? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes total sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, but it's
just inappropriate.
It doesn't mean that like every girl that you see by themselves is it's open to a conversation. If anything, she probably rarely has time to herself. She works a lot and she just wants to have a breather.
I feel like you've experienced more solo dates and adventures than me.
Yeah.
Like going to Amsterdam on your own for a holiday, that's quite big. Do you feel like other people judge you when you're on your own, or do you think it's just all in your own head?
I used to think people would judge me, and I feel like no, I don't think anyone judges me. Actually, I think it's all in my head. Literally all in my head. Because if we were just like, let's say, swap positions, I'm going with like a group of friends and stuff, and then I just see a girl by herself, I wouldn't think like, oh, she's by herself, that kind of thing. I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, she's by herself, nice. Like that's a confident girl. Like that's respect to that. Like whatever we're thinking in our heads, I feel like our minds can be either our best friend or our worst enemy. And I think when we go on a solo date or when we're traveling by ourselves, our mind is our worst enemy. Yeah. And we need to switch that and make it our best friend and just be like, no, people don't care about you. They only care about themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're not sitting there judging you or anything like that. If they do, then that's an issue about them. That's more like a them problem. It's got nothing to do with you.
I know.
So I say, like, you know what? Sometimes I do get into my own head and just think, oh, are they judging me? But then I need to remember, like, they're probably not. They probably do not care.
You think if you walk into a cinema, for example, or a restaurant, table for one, please.
Yeah.
Ticket for one. Do you really think the waitress or, you know, the person selling you the ticket's going to go, oh, just for one? Are you on your own? Oh, you lonely, lonely person. No, not at all.
I think it's because like they expect young people to be with groups of people all the time, which makes sense. I feel like majority of us are, obviously, when we go out with our friends and stuff. But I feel like when you get older, you get so much more comfortable in your own like presence. Like you just value that space. And obviously, like, you know, when you've been around for so many years, you're like, I just need that space.
Yeah, I know, same. And I think if you've got the confidence to go out on your own, own it.
Have you noticed the confidence in yourself as soon as you start doing like solo dates?
Yeah, and I think when you do start to go out on your own a bit more, whatever age, you automatically start to approach people and, you know, get in conversation with people. And I think that does build your confidence. Like I say, I am a very confident public speaker, and I would go up to somebody random in the street and ask them directions of somewhere because I've been doing that now for so many years, I feel confident about it. Like, I'm not scared to approach a stranger.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I feel like I have been quite independent from living away from home from the age of 17. I did have to grow up and become independent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, over time, my confidence has built. Probably, you know, if I was 13, I wouldn't feel confident going out on my own.
Yeah.
But because I've experienced it more now, I do feel confident. And I actually do put myself sometimes in situations that might be out of my comfort zone a little bit. You know, I would surround myself with a large group of people knowing I might have to talk to them. I would do that. And it's funny you asked that, because Fraser has said to me, ever since that me and him have been together, he said that he finds it a lot easier now to approach people because I'm very approachable and I will walk up to a group of people and start a conversation with them.
Oh, it's the confidence, girl.
Or I would go up to a stranger and ask directions to this. Or, for example, with you in Amsterdam, going up to a bunch of local girls, Dutch girls, and saying, what would you recommend around the area? I would do that. Some people wouldn't. But Fraser said since me and him have been together, he has found that his confidence in, like, approaching strangers when he's on his own has grown. But it is something that you do need to practice, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do that more because I don't approach strangers when I'm by myself. I think it's because, like, when I took my alone time seriously. So I was like, if I'm alone, I'm alone. I'm not here to, like, socialize because my job is already quite sociable. So I need to recharge my batteries. But I feel like if a stranger was just strike up a conversation with me just out of the blue, then I'll be very conversational. Then I'll just be, like, asking them questions and stuff, like, kind of, like, have the conversation flowing.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that, like, I probably won't initiate it to a stranger, but if a stranger was initiated to me, I would keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, I've never used to be like that. Usually I'll just shut down a conversation as, like, after, like, 2 or 3 words.
So if you were away on holiday on your own for a week, would you try and make friends with other people? Like, you had your downtime, you feel like, all right, I've had 3 solid days on my own, now I'm kind of missing the company. Would you feel confident enough to go and make friends with another group of people your age, maybe local people you don't know? Would you feel confident in that and approaching them and saying, like, hi, I'm here on my own, can I sit with you?
That's a good question.
Do you know what's good to do in the area, or would you feel like a little bit insecure and like, no, I don't want to take that risk?
I think deep down inside I would probably want to do that, but I know that I've not gone that step yet, so I would probably be quite scared to actually just do that step. But that just might be the next step that I need to do, because I am flying to Bali by myself, but I'm meeting my friends there, but I am flying to Bali by myself first. So you never know, I might just strike a conversation with someone next to me on the seat on the way there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
sometimes all it takes is, like, that initial conversation. Like, I'm just thinking now, we were recently in Greece, and as soon as we got to the hotel, there was this family, me, Fraz, their mum and dad just started talking, because straight away I overheard them talking about how they were from London or something. So I jumped in and straight away I was like, oh, what part of London are you from? Like, we're from England as well. And straight away that sparked conversation. And then, you know, they were leaving the next day. But I guarantee if they were staying for that week, we probably would have made friends with them, and we probably would have, like, had a few drinks with them at the hotel and stuff. Because I jumped in on their conversation, whereas, like, I know if that was one of my friends, they wouldn't have jumped in on that conversation. They would have just completely stayed out of it and thought, I'm not going to speak up and make friends with these people. But any opportunity I can get, I'm like, talk, hello.
Hi.
And that's
this job is definitely perfect for you.
That's why I think if I went on a solo adventure, I would love it, but I don't think it would stay solo.
Yeah.
I think that within 2-3 days, I would meet a group of friends.
That's good. Do you know what? I probably would end up making some sort of friends, because I know, like, even though I can be a little bit shy at first, but then once, like, I get comfortable with you, and that's it. So I probably won't be the first person to initiate, but I know for sure someone would approach me 100%. So I would probably end up, like, I feel like solo adventures aren't always very solo.
No.
Maybe you're solo 50% of it.
Yeah.
And then the other 50% you made some new friends.
But it's so exciting, like, meeting new groups of people, especially overseas, like, internationally, you know.
Is there an activity or one activity that you always wanted to do as a solo date? Like an activity you can name, you're like, oh, I want to do that.
I guess like cinema, or maybe like go to watch a musical, because that is a very independent activity anyway, because like when you're watching the film and watching the musical, it's not like you're talking to people, you know, you can do that independently. I think probably for me it would be going on a little solo trip, because I've never, like I said, I've travelled like to Toronto, but I've always had somebody the other side for the foreseeable of the trip. I think to do an actual like, you know, 3-4 day trip on my own would be quite exciting, something I'd want to do. I do love experiencing things with people. I love my own time, but then I do love experiencing things with people.
Same, yeah. No, do you know what? I have a list of things that I want to do that I write down on my phone. So like when I do have that free day, then I have a list of things that I want to try out for the first time. I don't think that's an activity I want to do by myself specifically. Maybe like do a staycation somewhere. I've done it abroad when I went to Amsterdam by myself, but I've not gone to like, you know, to another city in the UK and just like enjoyed a staycation. I've not gone to a dance class by myself, which I would love to do. I've always gone dance classes with my friends. Now I do want to get back into it again, and like thinking of just going on my own.
Yeah.
So those are one of the two that I've always wanted to do. Just do a staycation by myself, or I just go to a dance class by myself.
Yeah, I love that.
Fun.
But I do feel like if you were to do a staycation or like a little solo trip, I don't feel like I would feel by myself because of social media these days.
That's true.
And I know for a fact, the thought of having this, like as soon as you just said staycation, I thought, do you know what, that'd be really nice. A little spa staycation. You go to this lovely hotel, say 3 o'clock, you get some late lunch, go and have a spa treatment, massage, relax around the pool, read your book, have a nice dinner, like room service, wake up, have a line, go and have breakfast on your set by yourself. But I know for a fact, as soon as I get there, I'd be FaceTiming someone or scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. And then again, that would connect me with people. You know, maybe it would have to be a staycation where it's like no phones
It's a
allowed.
detox, a digital detox.
I don't know if I could do that though. I'm addicted to my phone.
Oh no, me too. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably, if I was to do that staycation, I would have to force myself to not go on my phone as much, or even just limit my screen time, or even just go to like a mountain or something where there's no reception. Like one of those options. Let's say someone like a listener is listening to us right now, or someone who's watching us right now on this podcast, and they want to try out solo adventuring themselves. What sort of advice would you give to them?
I would always say just stay safe, because there are weirdos out there, and you know, make sure you know your surroundings. Like, I am a confident person, but even now I would never go somewhere that I don't feel safe, or I don't feel as if there's like, you know, enough people around me that if anything was to happen, I would have people see or support me. You know, always tell your friends where you are. Like, I have all of my besties on Find My Friend. I think stuff like that is important. That's really advice important. I would say. Tell your friends and family where you are. Get them on Find My Friends, and just know your surroundings.
Yeah, I recommend just air tagging your friend.
Yeah.
That's what me and my brother did when I went on holiday as well. Like, he was like, I need to know where you are at all times. He was like, just put an air tag in your bag, and then I know exactly where you are and where you're going and stuff. And it works internationally as well. So
yeah, but straight away, when you mentioned going to Amsterdam on your own, I don't even know if you realise you said it, but straight away you said, I went because it's safe.
Yeah.
So it is something that
we do
have
to think
about.
Sadly, as girls, we have to think about that.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I think,
we do.
Especially in the society.
The advice I would give to people who are just starting out solo adventuring, or just want to start solo adventuring, I would say start off small. You don't have to go all big, all out. You don't have to go to Amsterdam like I did it. You can literally just go to a cafe, order a drink by yourself, and then go for a walk, and then you can come home. Yeah. That's still a little solo adventure.
Yeah, 100%.
That's still something. That's still doing solo. And then, like, with every step, the more confident you do that, then you can always take it to the next step. Then you'll be like, okay, I can go and visit this place and grab myself a coffee and go for a walk. And then you just get like bigger and bigger adventures. And then the more comfortable you get, the better. So I say start off small and then go from there. Literally.
And like, just don't put too much pressure on yourself though. I feel like, especially as you get older, I hear so many people say like, you have to take time out for yourself, like you have to like connect with yourself again, go out, do walks, go on solo dates. If that isn't for you, don't force yourself into something that you don't want to do. Sometimes a solo date is just running yourself a bath.
Yeah.
And putting a podcast on.
Yeah.
And getting into your pajamas and sitting in bed and reading.
That's also a solo date.
That is a solo date
that
as well.
Also, it's just something that is going to, what just feels natural to you. You don't have to go out if you don't want to, but it's just a point where like you can kind of just get comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
And that's the best part.
It is good to feel comfortable being alone.
I think it's such a power.
I think it is too.
Because even when I tell my friends this, like, they're just like, wow, you're doing this by yourself. I can't do that. And I was like, you need to start doing it. Because obviously they're so used to like doing it with friends and like with family and things. And then when they hear me doing it by myself, they're like, oh, like, how do you do that? I was like, you just do it. You just get out and breathe and walk, do what you want to do. And it's just so freeing.
Be at one with yourself.
Be at one with yourself. Yes. Being comfortable in your own skin. And that's what we love.
Yes. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening. And that's it on the episode of Girl, Guess What? Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Instagram for all the chaos in between the episodes.
And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.